Hey guys, and before I say anything, I know 1 month is crazy, but you have to allow it. I have school still, and I'm lazy, so relax. I'm gonna try to upload a little bit more often, so bear with me here. But besides that, Trial of One. It's basically this area you could spawn at if you have the origin unlocked. If not, you gotta go to Mini, and then you go to this outpost Umbra, I think the name is, and you go into this little white door and it'll take you there. But basically all you do there is just you fight monsters, and the game will directly give you stat points that you can use to level up your attributes. And with a somewhat recent addition, there's this new shrine that also acts as Mystic, where you select a certain dialogue option and it'll give you the certain tree of talents that you asked for. And to the average player or a beginner, you'd probably be asking me, well, Marcellus, why wouldn't you go this origin? This origin sounds pretty cool. You get to, get points really quickly, and you get to level up. And you get to even pick what talents you get because you have the shrine there. Now let me explain to you why the origin is probably the worst origin in the game besides the two base origins, Etris and Vigils, which I don't really even consider origins. They're pretty much just spawn points. They don't really come with anything unique that, diversifies them as an origin, but that's another point for another video. Now the reason why Trial of One is the worst origin in the game is because after you beat Trial of One, there is literally nothing that makes Trial of One good anymore. Now the reason Trial of One used to be good back in verse 1 was when you beat Trial of One, you used to get this talent called Adept. Now Adept got removed from the game because basically what it did was make you gain XP at a quicker rate. It basically gave you an XP multiplier. But at I forgot when it was, but it was sometime maybe before the verse 2 update. I think they merged Adept, or they didn't merge, but they made Adept the base XP gain rate because a lot of people were complaining that the game progressing and everything was really tedious, which it was. So this was a really good update, but it also had a bad side effect because the whole thing that made Trial of One unique and made it a really good oath or origin to go is gone. Now my silly little self hadn't even realized this because at this point in the game, back in verse 1 or early verse 2, I was still kind of a shitter at the game, I can't lie. I still am, but besides the point, I didn't know that, the whole point of progression is to just get it done quickly. I was still in this phase where I was enjoying killing monsters and whatnot with my friends. But Trial of One, after you beat Trial of One, post verse 2 or post Adept merging, there really was no point. There's no anything that incentivizes going Trial of One anymore because there's nothing it gives. You see, Depths Bounded, you get a massively increased XP from killing depths mobs, which is what you're mainly going to be doing even after you're done progging, which I don't know why I even said that. That's kind of irrelevant, but I'm saying it does help your prog a lot because it speeds up your prog by doing the only thing you're going to be doing, killing depths mobs. Now Voidwalker is better than Trial of One because not only do you get boosted XP from killing people, it does say that you give less, or you gain less XP from doing anything but bounties, but I don't really know. I kind of doubt that. Even if it does, it can't be by a significant amount because as you see in this video, I'm doing Ferryman. I mean, obviously at high level, I'm going to get like 3 investment points from doing one boss, but you gotta keep in mind, I also have Simple. So that's probably why I'm not getting that much points. Now here's the thing between Depths Bounded and Voidwalker. While Voidwalker might not have the boosted XP like Depths Bounded, Voidwalker, it has a lot of use, like utility post progression. Like let's say your friend's getting jumped somewhere, right? And you need to get to them really quickly. You could just teleport to Void Eye, and 9 times out of 10, your friend is probably going to be at some named location you could teleport to with Ferocity or Stealth. So Voidwalker, even though it may not have really easy progression, it's really good because a lot of the times you don't even have to teleport to. It's not even all for PvP. You could just teleport to somewhere you were previously after killing somebody, and it's just really useful to have. And Voidwalker is just one of the oaths that or origins you should always be going on a PvP build, unless you have some specific build. Now when you stack the pros of Deepbound and then Voidwalker, and then you put them next to Lone Warrior, you can kind of start to see where Trial of One it's falling short in comparison to Deepbound and Voidwalker, where Voidwalker, you kind of sacrifice some easier early game prog for some really essential, post progression assets like grasp a list where you can just teleport wherever, and then deep bound where you could literally just stay in the depths infinitely. So yeah, like all the things I complain about, Charlo 1, it could definitely be saved. Like, I have a few suggestions. I'm not just gonna complain about Charlo 1 being irrelevant now, because Charlo 1 really could be great again, and it really could be. It could be like as good as Voidwalker and Depths Bounded, with a few simple updates and whatnot, and that's what I'm here to suggest for. So one of my suggestions could be add a trial exclusive shrine, right? And it's going to be a combination of temptation, chance, and conceit. So basically, it's a shrine where at that shrine you can re-roll talents, you can re-roll mantra, and you can burn or unburn any talents or mantras you got rid of, right? And here's how it works, right? So you're going to have 3 wishes, and each of those 3 wishes can only be spent in one area. So you can only use temptation once, you could also use chance once, and then conceit once, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to make that how it works, because I don't want people being able to like reroll talents all crazy and willy-nilly and whatnot, because I feel like it might be a little too unbalanced. I'm not sure, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I'm not gonna lie, Adept might have to make a comeback. Like a 1.5 XP modifier for people who beat trial, but here's the thing, it's not going to be gifted to you, or it's not going to be given to you if you just beat the trial. If you beat trial in under 10 minutes, you will get the talent, and it'll give you an XP modifier of 1.5 from all sources. Now here's the thing, all these hardcore Deepwoken players in my comments they're probably going to be like, oh Marcellus, look, 1.5 XP modifier? That's too much. That's gonna make prog like it's gonna be too easy. It's gonna be like a sandbox game. Hear me out. Listen, like a week ago, they literally just boosted all sources of Voidwalker XP by 2, or training attribute XP. So why can't? I mean, I guess you could just put it on training XP instead of all sources, but some sort of XP modifier from beating trial. I think that would make it. That would be fair. Now, with all things in a permadeath game or a roguelike game, any sort of reward ratio should have an even higher risk ratio. So what I'm basically saying is, you gotta make trial harder, because a 1.5 multiplier for XP for everything, that's a little with the current trial right now, that'd just be free XP, bro. That'd be a little too easy. So what I'm suggesting is, instead of having the basic mobs we have now, I want to have a set pool of each mobs that can spawn per wave, right? So here's how I think it would work. You could pause the video, but this is basically the general idea of what I feel should spawn per wave every time there's a monster wave. And what this basically is going to do is it's just going to, have a random chance for a random mob to be spawned each wave from each set pool. This would be a really good addition, because a lot of mobs players haven't fought yet, right? So it would be cool, because there would be a random set of mobs that a player could fight in trial, so they could gain more experience of fighting said mob, without the actual real effect of dying like they would if they were fighting them in the overworld, right? So if they get to see these mobs in trial, they get to gain experience. And not only is this just a win-win for everybody, they get to fight mobs they've never fought without wiping or dying. And then they get rewarded if they do win. So yeah, it's kind of just a win-win, because, you get experience, and then you also literally get experience, as in you get investment points in games so you can level up. So that's really it. That's all I wanted to, talk about. I just had this suggestion. I was just thinking about it on my time off, and I really thought that it would be something that could really be beneficial to the origin, because I feel like Charlo 1 as an origin, it's not really, it's not that good compared to the others, and with some simple fixes, it could be just as good as the other 2 origins, or the other 2 relevant origins. So yeah, that's really it. That's all I wanted to say, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.